Hi everyone, this is Papa Zero here once again on Windows 95, and today we continue our journey. Right off the bat, we tackle our first boss in the first map. Nice. Solid kill. Oh, you may have noticed that my feet are no longer smoldering. Well, if it was up to me, they still would be, but unfortunately my director is telling me I have to play a bit more seriously. So I had to cut the RF to actually try hard to make monies, so I can make the ultimate build. This is just a transitory period. Unlike my previous videos, this one will be serious, guys. Super serious. Here's a footage of my first tier 3 map. I got my two 4-link Toxic Rain setups. One is linked to Mirage Archer that I shoot myself, and the other is linked to the Ballista Totems. I actually got a pretty neat bow with flask effectiveness and attack speed, and I was so proud of it till I imported it into my POBs and found that Quill Rain will substantially do more damage. So I dropped it like it smelled bad and picked myself a nice cool Quill Rain. And wow! Look at that, 5-link Quill Rain action in yellow maps doing its job. So far, this temporary period of not being ultimate hasn't been too bad, honestly. I gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought I hate being killable, but nope, not bad. One of my first encounters with the Crucible mechanic, I found out that for me, as long as I don't pop off too hard, the monsters won't destroy me, and the encounters won't last 17.5 minutes. So if you're like me and are testing the waters, do yourself a favor. Take it easy. Easy does it, as they say. Perhaps if you're just starting out the league, or your build doesn't do that much damage, take baby steps. There is nothing wrong with that. Here we have a midday Bossin situation. We're level 82 only, and sure, these bosses ain't the toughest of bunches, but Toxic Rain is very good on single target, at least in my opinion. Metamorphs, nice and easy. Rituals, nice and easy. Anything that has to do with being in a tiny, confined room with danger is when this build performs pretty well. And now, for your viewing pleasure, a nice tier 10, still on a 5-link for our Ballista Totems, but the new tech has shown its face. Petrified Blood is what we're using, and an increased amount of recovered flask life, which provides us with much needed recovery. I think at this time, as long as our life flask is gone, we have something like 2,000 life recovered per second for almost 5 seconds. That's because of all of the flask nodes taken on our tree, as well as our ascendancy, which grants us life flask effect does not queue and is not removed when unreserved life is filled. Also note that at this time I got the freeze immunity on my life flask. Sustaining righteous fire, hype! It's making a comeback! RF is making a comeback. Alright, it's the end of day 2 and I wanted to share my Atlas tree. Going for the +1 maps so we can progress through the game a bit better, as well as going for the Syndicate and Breach. Since they reworked the breaches again this league, it has to be good, right? Right, guys? Oh my god. I'm literally falling asleep at the keyboard and I just 6-linked my chess piece. GG. Tomorrow will be a bright new day. And the luck continues. First map of the day drops me this amazing shiny key called Reliquary, the Voidborn. What little present will you gift me today, O Voidborn the Powerful? What the beep is this? Today's not a bright day. Today, it's pouring down rain. Alright, moving on. We got the red boss person that wants to kill us, but we kill them first. I think I could have actually tanked this boss just a little bit more, but you know what? I wanted to play it safe, so I did a little bit of dodging, a little bit of moving, a little bit of shaking. Oh yeah. We're level 90 at this point, and I felt like showing off a bit. Our skills have grown, our gems have leveled, our passive tree has expanded. And I wanted to be a bit of a risk taker and take on my first real challenge. The one, the only, Woad. Wait, that's seriously his name? Woad. Okay, moving on. No judgments here. Ah, sweet, sweet Chiola Breach. Surely you will reward me for my patience and hard work. I have given thou so many Atlas passive points, and sure, my Toxic Rain build isn't the most efficient for breaches, but surely you will reward me. Now let's check the other side. I'm sure it's gonna start raining splinters very soon here. We might even get a breach stone, guys. I mean, wouldn't be, too surprised if I did, to be quite honest. One splinter. Come on! Come on! To finish the day off, I thought why not end on a high note? Let's kill a nice elder boss for good measure in a tier 16 so you guys can see the last little bit of Toxic Rain ballistas before they disappear forever. That's right. After this video airs, I shall no longer be Toxic Rainins. I'm going to be the lowest level of the ultimate build and power up in the next video. I also wanted to mention that I switched a few things around. Got a bit more damage and life here and there. And I replaced my freeze immunity flask with Bleeding's immunity flask. Running maps without bleeding immunity felt just fine. We just had to stay still for a moment longer if the bleeding was too strong. Running while bleeding is a big no-no. I mainly replaced the life flask because I wanted a bit of more quality of life, so instead of having to press the life flask every 4.8 seconds, now I can press it every 7.2 seconds. Nice. Beautiful. I'm glad I got rid of my freeze immunity on my flask. But hey, at least you got to see the tankiness of this build and my stubbornness to not log out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's almost like if you don't have freeze immunity, enemies can freeze us. And finally, here we have the Enslaver boss. I do have to say that as a league starter, this was one of my strongest builds. Typically, I don't boss anyways, but in the past, when I attempted them so early on, it didn't go too well. With this setup, we do have to click the life flask quite frequently, but it's a small price to pay for such survivability. Also, as you see in this fight, petrified blood saves my butt numerous times, so consider running it if you ain't. It might seem like it ain't doing nothing until it does, and then you're like, wow, I'm so happy. I'm so glad I got it. Would I recommend bossing with this character? You could. I think that it just needs more development. I mean, my gems are barely level 20, they're not awakened, and I'm missing a ton of key pieces that make this build shine. So if you do want to keep playing as Toxic Rain, do note that more upgradage is necessary. And we end the day with our character being at level 91 and our passive tree is as follows. Again, basically just Syndicate and Breaches, and in case you are wondering, this is my Breach tab, TT Sad Panda Bear. That's what I should name it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with another beautiful video. That's not Toxic Rain.